Hello everybody, this is Jenny McGarvey and I have a new video to share with you today of how I made this page, which is all about how my son is a big Syracuse fan. I'm using the Studio Calico January 2014 kit called Copper Mountain. And as you can see, I'm trimming up 3 or 4 different patterned papers to use on this page. First, I'm starting with 2 of those navy blue We Are Memory Keeper squares, and then moving on to the October Afternoon paper. I'm going to use both the wood grain and the anchor paper on this page, and I believe that those are back to one another. So I will cut 5 of those wood grain squares, and then I will also cut some from the anchor as well. I will use 4 of those, and then 4 of the white with the black outline dots as well. Once I get those all cut out and I'm satisfied with how many, the quantity that I have, I'll go ahead and I will move the photo and start placing those on the background paper, which is a white piece of paper. Now, as you can see, I'm arranging those patterned papers so that I'm happy with the distribution of the patterns. There's no rhyme or reason to how I am arranging them. They're different, but I wanted to make sure that they weren't weighted too heavily in any place. I didn't want your eye drawn to any particular spot on the page. Now I'll set down the photo and be good, and I like it, so I'm going to go ahead and start adhering those to the page. Now momentarily I will go off screen for quite a while sewing with my sewing machine to give a quilted effect to these squares. I apologize, and I will be back about the 6 minute and 2-second mark. So if you want to fast forward to that, I don't blame you. I put some hideous music in there, but you know, it's not that great. So anyway, I will be back in a little bit after I have sewn all of those down onto the cardstock. Okay, so I am back from sewing. I hope that little break wasn't too hideous. Now I'm going to go ahead and trim all the threads from the individual squares. I did sew each and every square down, except for those ones that you can't see because they're underneath the photo. So I'm just trimming those tails for a nice tidy appearance. I'm going to go ahead and mat my photo just on some plain white cardstock to just give it a little bit of added dimension. And I'm happy with it right there. So I'm going to begin my matting process. I use a little bit of vellum peeking out, and then I trim apart some of those jelly bean frames from my stash. They were not included in the Copper Mountain kit, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere all of those down to each other, and now I'll adhere them to the page itself. I'm pretty happy with how it looks. So now I'll go ahead and start pulling out embellishments from the kit that I think that I might like to use. I sort of have a vision of keeping it pretty simple, a little bit of labels, a little bit of embellishing, but really relying pretty heavily on the background. So now that star I created myself using an app called Sketch. I traced it in my Silhouette software and then cut it out with my Silhouette. That little wooden heart, there are some Studio Calico ones. That one happens to be a freckled fawn one. And now I'm just checking out to make sure that I like how all these are placed, and I'm going to begin adhering them to the page. Once I've adhered that oval, I'm going to put on a flare and adhere another label, and then the little wooden house. Now that one sets down, I'm going to pick one of those tiny little stickers, put it right inside the center of the heart, and next the die cut and the puffy heart stickers, just scattering them a little bit for a little bit of whimsy. Now I do decide to stamp on this page, and I kind of wish that I hadn't because I'm not really thrilled with how it turned out, but you'll see that in a little bit. Now for my title work, I pulled some thickers that I had in my stash. They're not from this kit, and I plan on spelling Cuse Fan with a apostrophe at the Q's to stand for Syracuse. But then I determined after I cut up a W that I don't have enough letters for fan, so I go back to the alphabet stickers that were included in the kit. And actually, I prefer how it looks with the contrast between the white stickers and then the wood grain stickers as well. So it really turns out quite okay. As you can see, I'm just placing those down. I don't really care about anything being perfect. I'm always willing to just sort of give it a go and see how it turns out. The worst thing that happens is I pitch the layout or, start over or something like that. So now you can see I'm about to start the stamping on there, and I wish I would have kind of left that maybe off. It doesn't really turn out how I had envisioned, but it's okay. I'm using a Jenny Bolin ink pad, which wasn't the problem. I just didn't like how it looked, and that's I don't remember the color of that one. It's a gray. And now I'm going to start putting in the journaling lines like I like to do. I'm going to start them on top of that jelly bean frame and then work it down onto the cardstock as well. When I'm finished, I will add my journaling. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I thank you so much for stopping by and for watching, and I hope maybe you are now inspired to create something of your very own. Have a fantastic day. Thank you.